Just Cause is just funny, but in an actual good way. For a game series that's simply terrible at storytelling, it sure makes it up on the gameplay side. If you've never played a Just Cause game before, then we can basically sum it up like this. Forget everything about the story and characters because we're talking about environments full of destructible objects, crazy death-defying stunts, ridiculous physics, over-the-top action sequences, and lots of explosions. That is what Just Cause is all about. I've been with this series ever since the first game, which was released in 2006, and even though it could have used more polish, I still found myself enjoying it from time to time back in the days. In 2010, Just Cause 2 was released, which left its mark as a massive improvement in the series. While still being stupid and even more over the top, it was one of my favorite games of that year. With stunningly beautiful visuals and a lot more options to get creative while causing chaos and destruction, it was a blast. But in 2015, the third game was released, and don't get me wrong, Just Cause 3 still does what Just Cause does best. However, I was disappointed in certain aspects, so let's take a look. These are the things that piss me off in Just Cause 3. Rico Rodriguez. I'll start this off with a simple pet peeve. It's not a game-breaking issue, but I think it's funny to notice how substantially different Rico's appearance and voice is with every installment of Just Cause. In the first game, he reminds me of a religious desperado with a funny haircut, while sounding like he took too many sleeping pills.
Not to worry, that's always the plan. What a goddamn thoughtful gift, Sheldon.
In the second game, he looks like a totally different person. There's almost no resemblance with the character model from the first game. And the voice sounds like he came down with a bad case of lung cancer.
Someone not dancing to Uncle Sam's tune? Sheldon taught me everything I know. It's agency territory, right?
In the third game, he looks like Nathan Drake's distant Spanish cousin trying to do an impression of Ezio.
It's good to see you too, Mario.
Mario is dead.
Tio. Rico.
Ezio.
Now, as I said, it's not actually a problem, I just find it mildly amusing. Hey, for Just Cause 4, let's have a crossbreed hybrid Rico that's mixed together from these three character models. Why not? Even though I like consistency, in the case of Just Cause, I think they can make all the changes they want, because in my opinion, it's humanly impossible to get attached to any of the characters in these games anyway, so what the hell, as long as I get to blow shit up, I'm good.
He doesn't sound much like a people person.
Mario Frigo. Criticizing characters in a Just Cause game is as ridiculous as, well, Just Cause. Remember when I said that it's impossible to get attached to any of them in these games? Well, there's a small exception if you really hate the character in a bad way and you feel the need to just shoot the fuck. Mario Frigo is the unfortunate, obvious comedy relief. Now, why does Just Cause need a comedy relief character while being as ridiculous as it is already is beyond me. I mean, be careful, Just Cause, it almost looks like you're trying, but I think it takes that special kind of talent to write a character as unfunny while desperately trying to be funny and annoying at the same time.
I saw you coming in on the plane, and you were like, Matre! Give us 1 minute, we will be inside, please! Look at the hips. Look at the hips.
What are you doing?
I'm hiding in plain sight.
Try popping more and looking less.
Now, this is just my point of view, but the humor from this character is something that you entertain 6-year-olds with, which I don't understand since on the game box it says that it's intended for adults. So shouldn't the humor also be for adults? Like, look at this scene.
Mario! Where are you? Oh, no.
I've been turned into a cow. Only the kiss of a prince will set Mario free. Come on, kiss my cow face.
No.
More, Rico.
No.
Ah, kiss the cow. Hey, guys, Rico kissed the
I think the only reason why this is funny is because of how bad it is. Oh my god, am I actually discussing humor and characters in a Just Cause game? I mean, if you don't know, then the story and characters in all of these games are as forgettable as the dump you took last night. So before I lose my mind, let's move on.
You believe this guy, Rico?
Protection objectives. Why is it that in so many story missions you have to protect something or someone? I mean, Just Cause is a game that promotes creating destruction, chaos, and mayhem in multiple different ways, so the one thing I really don't want to concern myself with is running some protection service for douchebags.
Hey, I heard that.
In some missions, you have to defend multiple people at the same time, and that really gets my piss boiling. Now you might be thinking, hey asshole, there's nothing wrong with having a different purpose once in a while, and yeah, I agree, but let's look at it from a different perspective. This game has 25 story missions, and for me the acceptable amount of reusing this specific objective is about 4 times max. But you have to defend something or someone in 13 missions. That's more than half of the story missions doing this crap. Maybe you like doing this, and if you do, then, well, congratulations. But I sure as shit don't. It's bad enough that the story sucks, again, but now most of the missions are fucked up as well. God damn you people.
He is just a big baby.
But a cute one.
Gear mods. Don't get me wrong, the gear mods are excellent additions to the game that help to spice up the gameplay even more. You can unlock boosters for explosives, so you could do stuff like this.
I need to be careful.
Then you have nitrous mods for cars, boats, and even planes. There's turbo jumping, homing grenades, and a lot more good stuff to mess around with. I guess the dumbest gear mod is precision aiming. Have you ever played a shooter game where there's an upgrade for precision aiming? That's like having an upgrade for jumping in a platforming game.
What a load of horse apples.
So I don't know what the hell they were smoking, but overall the gear mods are definitely awesome. But the problem is what you have to do to get the gear mods, and I think this is just pure bullshit.
Kick his ass.
You can't buy them since there's no currency system anymore, you can't steal them, you can't research them, which would have made a lot more sense. But no, if you want gear mods, then you have to complete challenges. Like driving through rings, flying through rings, gliding through rings, sea racing through rings, shooting rings, destroying things, but now it's on time, collecting Bavarium, which is really annoying, and then we have the car bomb delivery. I just have one question. Why? Why was it necessary to connect something so good to something so boring? It kinda looks like a desperate attempt to make us play these challenges.
No! The plan was perfect.
And okay, to be fair, I will grant this. It's good that at least you get something useful out of doing this, because in a lot of different games you don't get jack shit besides those useless achievement points. But still, most of my gear mods are locked, and that's how it's most likely gonna stay. I really don't feel like doing challenges, never did. It gets boring, annoying, and tedious.
You bastard.
Final boss fight. Once again, I'm forced to tackle the same topic. After the final boss fight in Just Cause 2, my expectations were way too high for the one in this game. So yeah, they fucked it up. Badly. But first, let's go back. In Just Cause, I guess you can't really consider Mendoza as an actual boss fight, since you never battle him during gameplay. In the final sequence, all you have to do is just catch him, and then you get a cutscene where Rico sticks an explosive on his back and blows the living crap out of him.
You see what happens when you make me angry?
It's nothing special, but for its time it was pretty cool and badass. But now the second game went way over the top. In the final sequence, you're surfing on nuclear missiles while having a shootout with the main bad guy, President Panay.
Looks like you'll be spending some time with your beloved oil after all.
Now that is awesome. That's exactly the type of shit that I want to see in these games.
That's right. I should know.
So how did they fuck it up in the third game? Well, by turning the final boss fight into a generic Bavarium helicopter battle. You know, just like all the other Bavarium helicopters that you get to destroy, only this one is a lot stronger and you can't hijack it.
You're killing my boss.
We went from surfing on nuclear missiles to this. Just wait for the shield to go down, then shoot shoot, and wait for the shield to go down, and shoot shoot. Wow, innovation at its finest. The thing is, in this game, you get to destroy all types of vehicles constantly, so turning the final boss fight into a helicopter battle is just downright lazy and lame. Such a weak way to go out.
That is a failure that must not go unpunished.
And I might as well just spoil the ending because you're not gonna miss out on anything. So once you take General Di Ravello's chopper down, he crawls out of the wreckage. And he simply doesn't burn because he said so. Well, of course. Then you can make a choice, whether you shoot him or just wait until he commits suicide. And after that, the game just ends. Yeah, just like that. No final cutscene, no nothing. It's like the game couldn't take it anymore. Kinda what I'm feeling right now.
I don't blame you, you know.
Frame rate. Now before anything else, I bought the game for my Xbox One, so I don't know how the frame rate works on the PC or the PS4, and quite frankly, I don't care. I got it for my Xbox, so that's where I expect it to work. Unfortunately, it's amazing how butchered the frame rate is.
Years in the making.
For me, selling a broken game is absolutely inexcusable. I refuse to believe that they didn't know about this. I mean, what the fuck were they doing? At least have the courtesy of not charging me full price if some of your copies are tainted.
Don't listen to him.
And I'm quite sure that I'm not the only one with a problem like this. But if someone has a copy on the Xbox without frame rate issues, then I want your copy.
We'll serve them up on a plate.
So at first I thought that the frame rate slows down only during massive explosions, like the system can't take that much. However, to my surprise, it wasn't only about that. I got numerous frame rate problems at the most random moments, once even when a simple train was passing me by, or when I was just casually moving around. But of course the worst is when the frame rate slows down during action sequences, and for me this happens basically all the time. It makes it nearly impossible to enjoy the game. In fact, it's insufferable. And towards the end, I was forcing myself to play this just cause I wanted to get something out of the full price that I stupidly paid for this piece of shit, and because the store didn't give my money back. And I tried, okay? I tried turning the game on and off again, I tried playing it in offline mode, I disconnected internet entirely and nothing changed. But you know what's really funny? By now the game's been out for more than 2 years and there still hasn't been a fix for this. But they've had no problems releasing DLCs that you gotta pay for. Now call me a moron, but here's an idea. Instead of releasing DLCs, how about fixing your fucking game first, you goddamn assholes?
Yes! What did he say?
It's bad enough that the game is below average in many different aspects, but because of the crappy frame rate, I can't even enjoy it at its best. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Buy a new copy? Well, fuck you. So you know what I say? Screw this game.
It will be my pleasure.
Whoa, 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 I let a good thing go by me. I let a good thing go by me. Boo, 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 boo. I let a good thing go by. Yes, I did now.
Just Cause 3. More like shit cause. What can I say? It's funny how they keep changing Rico's appearance with every game. The comedy relief character is a pain in the ass. In more than half of the story missions you're stuck at defending something. Having to do boring challenges to get gear mods gets really tedious. The final boss fight sucks big time, and for me the frame rate is a disgusting mess.
Okay. You do with that information what you want.
When it comes to the narrative side, then just like in the previous games, the story and characters are still laughably bad in this one. But I'm not gonna start going through all the inconsistencies in cutscenes and crappy plot details that make no sense because God knows my lifespan isn't that long. Or I'll just give you one example. Take a look at Mario in this scene. The camera moves away for a few seconds, and when it comes back, oops, where's Mario? But on the long run, I don't see much of a reason to analyze the story side. I mean, who the hell plays Just Cause for its compelling characters and deep storytelling anyway?
I want my grandmadre.
Now going on the gameplay side, what's with the shitty driving mechanics again? I mean, come on, it's the third game. How many times can you step into the same bucket of shit? Driving is horrible in this game, stiff as a board. And why the hell does Rico move like some grandma suffering from radiculitis when walking around on a vehicle that's not even moving? This makes sense on an airplane that's, well, flying in the air, but not on a stationary boat. And I think the AI was dropped on its head or something. At times, it's brain dead. So, I don't know, maybe I'm being too much of a bitch about it, but I can't help it. I really didn't enjoy my time with this game as much as I was hoping to, or as much as I did with the second game. However, we can still find decent things about it, so as always, let's be fair.
This should be interesting.
On the visual side, Just Cause 3 is a good-looking game. The character models look way better, the island is massive and beautiful, and the game looks spectacular, especially when you're destroying stuff. Look at these beautiful explosions. That's amazing. It's a damn shame that I was almost never able to enjoy the game at its fullest functionality, because when the frame rate works, then this game is a ton of fun with some quite interesting attention to detail. Even flowers get squished when you drive over them. On the core gameplay side, there's not that much of a difference from the second game. Movement, shooting, driving, and flying feel pretty much the same, only now there's no sprint button anymore. Of course, we get new tools for our Just Cause, including new weapons and vehicles like choppers, cars, tanks, planes, you know, the usual. But one of my favorite newest additions to the game is the wingsuit. I fell in love with this instantly. It might take a bit of time getting used to, but once you do, then this thing is a blast. That was my main method of transportation, and combining the wingsuit with the grappling hook and the parachute takes traveling to a whole new level. Rico's tether has also been upgraded. Now you can link multiple points and pull objects together. For example, you can pull choppers down from the sky or even make a statue face slap itself to death. And you also have an infinite amount of remote explosives that you can stick anywhere. And I mean anywhere. The truth is that there's no point in describing all the different ways on how you can destroy things, because in that case we're gonna be here all day. The variety is that good. The most important thing that you need to know is that when the frame rate works, then on the gameplay side, Just Cause 3 is fun. But also take this into consideration, even though it's not a bad game and it gives you mindless action at its best, eventually it's still gonna get old. It's a stupid game that has a lot of flaws, but it's a good waste of your day once in a while if it works like it's supposed to. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.